What is up, everybody? It is JT Sports. I am back to you guys with another video, and I'm here with my Indianapolis Colts 2021 record prediction. Going to be giving you guys my best case scenario, my worst case scenario, and my overall record prediction for the Colts this upcoming season. Before I get into it, if you haven't already, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I upload a new video, and most importantly, make sure that you help a brother out. Hit that like button, because when you hit that like button, you help the channel rank higher in the YouTube search algorithm. If the channel ranks higher in the YouTube search algorithm, then the channel gets more views and the channel grows. So make sure that you guys hit that like button. It takes less than a second to do, and it is a free way to support the channel. Colts last year went 11-5, finished behind the Tennessee Titans in the AFC South. Now, when you look at Tennessee, Phillip Rivers retired. You're bringing in Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, Frank Wright, they have some connections in the past where they, were pretty good with each other during their time in Philadelphia. And I think that Carson Wentz could do some very good things with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, when you look at Indianapolis, their offensive line is a little bit of a question mark. I don't think it's going to be bad. I still think it's going to be really good, but you do have a concern when it comes to one of the positions on your offensive line that has to be addressed throughout training camp, preseason. Then you look at wide receiver. Indianapolis doesn't really have a lot of talent at wide receiver. You got Michael Pittman. You got T.Y. Hilton, who has shown signs of regression. You got Zach Pascal. You got Paris Campbell, who's in the make-or-break season. So the wide receiver room for Indianapolis isn't really looking all that great. But you are really good at running back. I mean, you have a lot of talent at running back. You have Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines. Like, there's a loaded backfield that Indianapolis has. So this is a team that is going to be really good when it comes to running the football. I still think this is going to be a run-first team. And then you look at the dynamic of Carson Wentz being that quarterback. You're going to be able to implement a little bit more in your offense compared to what you were able to do with Phillip Rivers because of the mobility that Carson Wentz brings. So you can run RPOs, read options. So Carson Wentz, I think, is definitely going to help the running game out with his ability to run the football with his athleticism. So you look at Indianapolis, I think the best case scenario for this team is going to be 11-6. Now, this isn't offense that I think is going to blow people away, because there's not really a lot of household names. But I think this can be a pretty solid offense that gets the job done. You look at Carson Wentz, if he ends up bouncing back to what he was, his MVP season, not even his MVP season, the last time he took Philadelphia to the playoffs in 2019, if he's even that version of Carson Wentz, then the Colts definitely got a big steal when they traded pretty much nothing for him in return with the Philadelphia Eagles. So if Carson Wentz can even get back to, what he was 2019, you got a really good QB on your hands. So you look at wide receiver. Yeah, the wide receiver core is not going to blow anybody away, but it's going to get the job done. Michael Pittman was really good during the second half of the year when he was able to really get things going. He didn't have injuries holding him back. He looked like the best wide receiver on the team. You got Zach Pascal, who stepped up and made some plays for Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, he's starting to regress, but he did turn things on during the second half of the year, which should be pretty much a good sign. Hopefully he can keep up that momentum and bounce back this year and have a complete season. Then you have the running game going. So this offense is going to be really good. The offensive line, you have a little bit of a concern there, but not really that much. The offensive line should still be really good. Now, defensively, your secondary is still really good. Xavier Rhodes is coming off a bounce back year. You got Rocky Sin, who is a little bit inconsistent, but I still believe in him. Like, this defense is still really good. But my worst case scenario for this team is going to be 7-10. Now, linebacker is a huge concern. Okay? Outside of Darius Leonard, linebacker isn't really all that great. And when you look at the pass rush outside of DeForest Buckner isn't all that great neither. You lost Justin Houston. Doesn't look like you're going to end up bringing him back. But you did draft Kwity Paye in the first round of this past year's draft. So maybe he can give you a little bit of boost. I don't know. I don't think Kwity Paye is going to have a season where he just has like 8, 9 sacks right off the back. I think he's more of a guy who's probably going to give you 3, 4 sacks this year. And I think he's a guy who does have a lot of upside, but I don't think you're really going to get that much out of him. So I'm really concerned about the pass rush outside DeForest Buckner. There's not really a pass rusher on this Colts team that I trust, and I don't really like how linebacker looks outside of Darius Leonard. Now, offensively, I'm not really concerned about the offensive line, but what if Carson Wentz isn't able to be regurgitated by Frank Wright? What if Carson Wentz is just done? Then I think the season probably could be down the drain because you don't really have any good options behind Carson Wentz if things go bad. Maybe Jacob Eason? But, I mean, if Carson Wentz isn't able to be revitalized by Frank Wright, then I think that's also going to be something that holds back Indianapolis. So I think the worst case scenario, if everything goes left for the Colts this year, is 7-10. Now, before I get into my overall record prediction for the Colts, I want to tell you guys my 2 swing games for Indianapolis this year. It's Week 5 against the Baltimore Ravens and Week 16 against the Arizona Cardinals. That Week 5 matchup, you're going on the road to take on the Baltimore Ravens Monday night. That's a really important game because when you look at Baltimore, this is a team that I feel has, similar concerns that Indianapolis has. Now, you don't have the concerns at QB, even though I think Carson Wentz should be fine. But you look at Baltimore's offensive line and Indianapolis' offensive line. The offensive lines are solid, but you still do have a little bit of area of concern at, either 1 or 2 positions. Wide receiver is still something that we don't really know how good it's going to be for Baltimore. Like, yeah, you did draft Tylan Wallace and Rashad Bateman, and you did sign Sammy Watkins from free agency, but overall, that's still a pretty young group of wide receivers. We don't know who's going to end up breaking out in that bunch, so we don't know how good that passing attack is going to be for Baltimore because of the receiving room. Now, you do have 2 teams who are really good when it comes to running the football. And on top of that, defensively, these 2 teams do have questions when it comes to their pass rush. So you look at 2 teams who I think are pretty evenly matched that have similar strengths and similar weaknesses. So I think that's a really intriguing matchup. Week 16 against Arizona is really big for Indianapolis because Indianapolis, if they're not able to, have a firm grasp on the division, then they probably could end up trying to get into the playoffs, trying to get one of the last remaining spots, either that 6 or 7 seed. And that game against Arizona is going to be really big because then you're coming off playing the New England Patriots off that Week 14 bye before you play New England. So after that Week 14 bye, you got to face New England and you got to face Arizona. And you're looking at Arizona, who also is a team that probably could be competing for a playoff spot rightfully in their own conference, trying to get one of the last remaining playoff spots available in the NFC. So after you face Arizona, you got to face the Raiders and you got to face the Jaguars. And I've been telling people, do not sleep on Jacksonville. Jacksonville is going to win a game against Tennessee and Indianapolis. Mark my words. So you're looking at Las Vegas, who also is going to be a team who's trying to compete for one of the last remaining playoff spots. So the playoffs race is going to be heating up for Indianapolis. And it's going to be really important. So I think that Arizona Cardinals game is really important because you have 2 teams who are like French playoff teams. Like, yeah, they could get into the playoffs, but also they're missing a couple of pieces. So they're probably going to be competing for one of the last remaining spots in their respective conferences. So I think that's a really big game when it comes to the playoff picture. Now, my overall record prediction for Indianapolis this year is going to be 9-8. I think the offense is going to be solid, but I do have concerns about the defense, have concerns about linebacker. Outside of Darius Leonard, I don't really trust the rest of the linebackers, and I don't really know where the pass rush is going to come from outside of DeForest Buckner. Kwity Paye, I don't think he's going to have this rookie season when he just has, like 10 sacks and puts the league on notice. I think he's going to be more of a guy who probably has 3-4 sacks this year, and he's going to be more of a developmental guy. So I do think that we see Indianapolis going 9-8. This team could win 11 games. I definitely do see it, but I do have some concerns about how that pass rush is looking and how the linebacker unit is looking. So you guys give me your record prediction for the Colts down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. Make sure that you follow me on my social media pages at JTSports_. It's my Twitter and my Instagram. The link to those will be down in the description down below. And thanks for watching.